service and humanity. May I respectfully invite the Honourable Chief Judge of Lagos State, Honourable Justice Kazeem Alogba, to give the valedictory address. Thank you, my Lord.
Before I start, let me say that we are starting this late because we had to stay indoors to allow a reasonable number of people to come in. Today being Monday, judges will be sitting in their different courts, but as a mark of respect for the family and the departed senior colleague, we agreed to this valedictory being held today. And so naturally judges are on their way. A number have called me a few minutes ago. They will be joining us. So we decided to come out so as not to keep everybody waiting for too long. Now, my lords, honorable judges of the appellate courts here present, honorable judges of the Lagos State Judiciary here present, my lord the admin judge, Ikeja, judges emeriti here present, my lord and our special guest, Honorable Justice Faji, the Honorable Admin Judge of the Federal High Court, Lagos, members of the inner and outer bar here present, and the Permanent Secretary of the Judicial Service Commission, the Chief Registrar of the High Court, and the Deputy Chief Registrars, Your Honors, Magistrates of the Lagos State Judiciary, members of the revered family of the late Chief Ladi Rotimi Williams, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, principal officers, and other members of the Lagos State Judiciary, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. We all knew the man we are gathered here this afternoon to honor. Only maybe colleagues who are just 5 years down may claim not to know him much. For anybody above 5 years at the bar, because I can still recollect that within the last 5 years, he was still active coming to court. Chief Oladipupo Akoni, Olubusola Williams, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, the Amono Akwesi of Itoko and Igbaland, was born on the 1st of December 1946 and passed on the 3rd of October this year. He was regarded as one of the top 100 senior advocates of Nigeria, and until his death, he was the principal partner of the law firm he founded in Lagos, Chief Ladi Rotimi Williams Chambers, which provides a variety of high-quality legal services to individuals, private corporations, and public sector organizations, with expertise in litigation, constitutional, and commercial law. He was born, as I said, in Lagos, Nigeria on the 1st of December 1946 to the highly respected Chief Frederick Rotimi Alade Williams, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, and Chief Mrs. Beatrice Oladone Williams, Nemo. He was the eldest child of 4 sons. His brothers are Chief Kayode Rotimi Williams, Mr. Folani Rotimi Williams, and Mr. Tokumbo Rotimi Williams, SAN. His paternal grandfather, Thomas Ekunda Williams, and grand-uncle were also lawyers who were called to the bar in 1927 and 1892 respectively. His maternal grandfather, Eric Moore, was also a lawyer. His uncle, Mr. Akintola Williams, was the first chartered accountant in Nigeria. Chief Williams' early years were spent in Old Java Road, Lagos, but the family moved to Ibadan when his father, the late Chief Rotimi Williams, became involved in politics with the political movements advocating for independence from Great Britain and joined the Action Group Party of Chief Obafemi Awolowo. He became the Attorney General of the Western Region of Nigeria, the capital in Ibadan. Ladi then attended Children's Home School Ibadan till 1953. Subsequently, his father insisted that he moved to the local IDC practicing school Ibadan, which took children from all socials, but predominantly working class backgrounds, in line with the socialist and education policy of the Action Group. He was there from 1954 to 1959. This affected his early formation because his childhood classmates, with whom he maintained a close relationship until his death, came mainly from the lower classes. Although he was the privileged son of a cabinet minister, he learned to remove his socks and shoes and leave them in the car when his father's aides dropped him off at school because his classmates were barefooted and could not afford shoes. Throughout his life, he identified comfortably with the masses and felt at home in the humblest and poorest environment. Chief Ladi Rotimi Williams passed the entrance examination into various secondary schools in Lagos, so his father sent him to his grandmother in Lagos to attend the CMS Grammar School, which his father had attended. Chief Alfred Rewan, a family friend, was to pick him from his grandmother and take him to the school, but he was taken instead to the prestigious King's College Lagos and settled into the boarding school there. It was not until several days later, when his grandmother could not locate him, that he was found in King's College Lagos, where he remained for his secondary education from 1960 to 1964 and obtained the school certificate. He maintained a close relationship with his classmates until his death. He went abroad for his advanced level studies and attended Seven Oaks Public School, Kent, England from 1965 to 1977, and thereafter at the University College London 1968 to 1971 for his law degree, and was called to the bar in 1972 the same year. He married his beloved wife, Dr. Henrietta Maria Williams, the daughter of Chief L.O. Edet, the first Nigerian Inspector General of Police, whom he had met as a student at the University College London in 1968. The marriage is blessed with 4 children, Rotola, Kunle, Yewande, and Tokumbo Williams, as well as 5 grandchildren, Ayomide, Ayokunle, Ayoluwa, Thomas Eniola, and Henrietta Maete Williams. Chief Williams spent his early working life at his father's chambers, Chief Rotimi Williams and Co., where he became a major contributor to the success of the renowned chambers, and also became a senior advocate of Nigeria in 1995. Ladi and his late father, Frederick Rotimi Williams, were the first father and son to become senior advocates of Nigeria. He served in various organizations and industries as chairman, Office General de Lear Nigeria Limited, UPS/IMNL, Mutual Benefit Assurance. He was also appointed a member of the Constitutional Drafting Committee in 1988, also a director of the defunct National Electric Power Authority, and he served the corporations during his tenure. He was a member of the Nigerian Bar Association, patron of the Faculty of Law of the University of Ife, and a Director General Litigation Practice. His interest in the affairs of the ordinary Nigerian citizen led him to join the non-political group, the Patriots, where he served as secretary to this influential association, showcasing his passion for bringing justice and providing welfare to the less privileged Nigerian. Chief Ladi Rotimi Williams loved traveling and playing board games such as Scrabble and Monopoly. Among his legal colleagues, he was respected as a man of integrity, gifted with an exceptional sense of humor. He was devoted to his nuclear and extended family and circle of friends. He will be greatly missed by his wife, children, grandchildren, his siblings and relatives, friends, clients, business associates, and his many admirers. And on a personal note, I had come into contact with him, both while in practice and after coming onto the High Court bench. Many may not like him, but I want to say one thing, that as for the ethos of the profession, in his own way, he tried to make colleagues conform. His style might be different, his style might not be welcome, but what should matter to us is what he was striving at, to ensure the highest standards of the legal profession. We are individuals, we have a peculiar way of doing things, and naturally, it may not go down with so many people the way you're trying to do it. But what we should really look out for is what's the intention of this action or this disposition by this man. I want to say he's no longer with us, but in spirit we are with him, and I still vouch for his willingness at that time or during his lifetime to ensure that the high standards of discipline and ethics were attained and maintained in the legal profession. And for that alone, he deserves commendation. And I say may his soul rest in perfect peace. To the family, I pray that the good Lord give you the fortitude to bear this loss. It is appointed for man to come at a time and go back to his maker thereafter. He has come, he has done his best, he has returned to his maker. And I say, may the good Lord forgive him all his iniquities and grant him eternal rest. Thank you.
Thank you, my Lord. I will now invite Mr. Shuko Shashore, former Attorney General of Lagos State, for his address. He's going to represent the body of senior advocates of Nigeria.
Sorry, Mr. Shashore said, I don't know, it would have been impossible to miss a short man like you. But maybe I didn't see you before. So you are welcome.
My Lord, the Chief Judge of Lagos State, my Lords, the distinguished and honorable judges of the High Court of Lagos State, my colleagues at the Inner Bar, the Senior Advocates of Nigeria, my Lords, the retired justices of the various courts of the land, I'm much obliged. I haven't done protocol in a long time, so you have to forgive me. The family of late Chief Ladi Williams, your honors, the magistrates of Lagos State, my distinguished colleagues of the Outer Bar, ladies and gentlemen. As you can imagine, I hadn't thought that the duty to speak for the body of benchers would fall on me today. And I'm sure they would have selected somebody who is probably in traffic somewhere, somebody far senior to me. But unfortunately, seniority is the name of the game. And that's why I'm here. At occasions like this, my Lord, we come with mixed feelings to celebrate a great contributor to the profession, a man who strode the annals and the corridors of this profession in the pages of many of the most prominent law reports. You'll find his name there. For 48 years. We come on occasion like this with pride and celebration for a successful life in a noble profession without blemish. But we come with bowed heads and indeed a bit of grief, a good degree of grief at a dear brother and a mentor to many to be taken away from us at such an early stage under such inauspicious circumstances. My Lord the Chief Judge has given a very erudite curriculum vitae and background of the life and times of Chief Ladi Williams. When we came onto the scene, he was clearly one of the leading lights, one of the people who knew everything about the profession, and we were there just to look at and hopefully pick up some crumbs. He was of that class that we wondered whether we would ever get to. But when I came to work alongside him for a mutual client in many years later, I saw the ease with which he straddled the law, the ease with which experience had taught him what not to do, and the ease with which he was ready to share that knowledge with me. And he drew me close to him. I know you remember that time. He drew me close to him, and he was full of mutual respect for all, however young or far away from him that you were. So I was, when I realized that it would fall on me to speak, I just jotted down some words that came to me when I thought of him. Humility. Humility. And my Lord Chief Judge did refer to that. But integrity. Humility and integrity. Those were the two words that came to my mind. In 1995, he was called to the inner bar. I'm not sure what many people here were doing in 1995, but I was still trying to cut my teeth in the profession. And like I say, we used to, those were the days when you would finish your case on a call-over day, or you would finish your case on a normal day, and you'd stay behind to watch the senior advocates. You'd stay behind, you're not like today where people are in a hurry to leave the courts. The courts are crowded. You'd stay behind to pick up anecdotes, habits, messages, information, cases. And that was the school where we were bred, in the corridors of the High Court buildings. It's sad that one of them is now under repairs, hopefully. I know his cases are many in the law reports. But just sitting there, I recalled watching him argue an arbitration case. I might get it wrong. It was LSDPC and adult stam. And that case is one that many arbitrators have used. We certainly used it in our text called commercial arbitration in Nigeria, myself and Candid Johnson. And it states clearly the principle of interest and how a claimant can succeed in getting interest from an award, even where the award is not explicit. It's a very useful case, and fortunately it was on the winning side of that case. So my lords, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I rise on behalf of the body of senior advocates of Nigeria to bid our most befitting and sad farewell. This is a huge loss to your family, to the Williams family, It's a huge loss to, I dare say, the family of the bar. It's a huge loss, I must say, to the Nigerian profession. And in our tradition, we pay him respect and we say adieu till we meet to part no more. I'm much obliged, my lord.
Thank you. Next on the program is the address by the chairman of the Nigerian Bar Association, Lagos branch.
Good afternoon, my Lord the CJ, Lagos State. Good afternoon, my Lords, Appellate and High Court judges. Good afternoon, distinguished senior advocates of Nigeria. Good afternoon, distinguished body of benchers. Good afternoon, the revered family of our late Chief Ladi Williams. A very good afternoon to senior members and great colleagues. Good afternoon. My name is Tabiye George, the Vice Chair, Lagos Branch. I am representing the Chairman of the NBA Lagos branch. Is unavoidably absent because today is our monthly traditional meeting. The second Monday of every month is our meeting. That's why he's not here. Permit me to go ahead and read his speech for this occasion. On Sunday, 3rd October 2021, we received with shock the news of the passing of an illustrious principal, father, and legal practitioner, late Chief Oladipo Akani Olubusola Williams SCN, following the press statement issued by his family to announce the huge loss. Over the past 1 year, the Nigerian Bar Association NBA Lagos branch has unfortunately lost some of its cherished members to the cold hands of vets. The passing into glory of Chief Oladipo Williams is a monumental loss because he was a revered mentor, an active and senior member of the NBA Lagos branch, an illustrious principal, father, and a model legal practitioner who has without doubt engraved his name in the legal sands of time. Born as a first son to the family of the legal icon, Chief Ladi Rotimi Williams, QS SCN, on 1st December 1946, Chief Oladipo Akani Olubusola Williams SCN would have clocked 75 in December this year. Chief Ladi Williams, as he was popularly known, obtained a law honors degree from the University of London and was called to the Nigerian Bar in 1972. His early working life was spent at Chief Rotimi Williams' chambers under the supervision of Chief F.R.A. Williams, SCN, and he was a major contributor to the success of the renowned chambers. The reach and experience he got from the Chief Williams chambers informed his decision to set up his chambers with 2 of his children who are also legal practitioners. Chief Ladi Williams practiced his legal trade with dexterity. No wonder he was able to obtain notable decisions from our courts. His laudable submissions and legal prowess enriched the development of the Nigerian legal jurisprudence. For example, the case of FRN and Fanny Coyote 2010, 14, Nigerian Weekly Law Report Part 1214-487, which led to the legislative intervention concerning the admissibility of computer-generated statements of account. His elevation to the rank of Senior Advocate of Nigeria in 1995 was widely received in the legal community as a befitting tribute to his brilliance and indelible impact on the legal profession. Aside from his legal practice, he rendered service to this nation. In 1988, he was appointed as a member of the Constitution Drafting Committee. He was also appointed a director of the National Electric Power Authority and creditably served the corporation during his tenure. In addition, he served the board on prestigious corporations such as UPS, IMLL, TSA, and Mutual Benefits Assurance. While showcasing his talent as a legal practitioner, Chief Ladi Williams expressed interest in the affairs of the ordinary Nigerian citizen, and this led him to join the apolitical but influential association, the Patriots, where he served as a secretary. During his service with the Patriots, he ensured that the less privileged Nigerians had justice and were catered for. We have indeed lost a legal icon. On behalf of the Nigerian Bar Association Lagos Branch, I convey my deep condolence to the immediate family of Chief Ladi Williams, SCN, and the entire community. I pray that as we all grieve, we will be consoled by the exemplary life he led, the legacies he had left, and his numerous contributions to the development of the law. Thank you, my lords.
Thank you. I will now invite the Chairman, Nigerian Bar Association, Ikeja branch, for his address.
Lord, the Honourable CJ of the Lagos State High Court, Kazeem Alogba, may I seek the kind permission of this Honourable Court to stand on existing protocol. When the news of the death of late Chief Ladi Williams was broken, some of us were speechless. I guess time has permitted us to recover from our speechless state to attend the valedictory. As is my custom, I will still throw that line that I said the valedictory basically as a pinpoint to pick out what a man is known for. Like my Bible will always say that the day of a man's death is far better than the day the man was born. Because on the day a man is born, we do not know what he comes with. But when he departs, he leaves lessons, whether for good or for bad, for those he left behind. It is worthy to mention that Chief Ladi Williams was an outstanding legal practitioner. I always refer to him as an embodiment of the law, who has the law at his fingertips. He served as mentor to many that when the news got to the MBA Ikeja branch of the demise of Chief Ladi Rotimi Williams SAN, it was a very mournful sight to see people who could attest that they served under him, and it was a great experience that what they are today can only attest from what they learned working with him. I will pick that as a lesson, not only to our younger ones to look out for the outstanding seniors, so that as they cross to the world beyond, the body of knowledge does not go down with them, but will continue in the old tradition laid by his father, Chief F.R.A. Williams, as it then was. One thing very outstanding about late Chief Ladi Rotimi Williams is his mutual respect for people he comes in contact with. Whether high or low, he always accords you that respect you deserve. It doesn't matter from what background you are with. I've had an occasion where we had a legal argument, which ordinarily I would have been dismissed because he was already a senior advocate before I was called. But he allowed me finish the point I was making. And he said, "Counsel, look at this issue you are taking from this other point." And it didn't take me 30 seconds to see the angle that I was blinded to in all through that argument. And I think I am better for it today. Going further, his practice of law laid very high standard of ethics for people coming behind. The law we practice today, we all agree, have a lot of question marks begging for answers. But if you've had cause to come in contact with Chief Ladi Williams during his lifetime, one thing was very outstanding. You may not like his approach. You may not like the way he makes his comment. But when you sit down in your quiet moment to review what he has said, you will come to terms with that what he said is the truth and nothing but the truth. We all know that truth hurts. So the fact that someone will be hurt by his insistence on ethics, high standard of it, will not be surprising. Without taking much, I will conclude my speech by saying that it was a delight to watch in court, just like his late father. I happen to be one of those who take out my time to come and sit in court when I know the late Chief F.R.A. Williams is sitting in court. It was always a delight to watch, because whether you like it or not, you must take something good away from listening to him. That is one attribute he copied exactly from his father, and an attribute that many of us who are still in practice today, who are opportuned to pick from that knowledge, still kept going. Indeed, I must conclude by saying that the legal profession has lost an icon. To the immediate family, I say, may God grant you all the fortitude to bear his demise. Thank you, my Lord.
Thank you. Next on the program is the address by the chairman of the Nigerian Bar Association, Ikorodu branch. I will now invite the chairman, Nigerian Bar Association, Badagry branch, for his address.
The Honourable Chief Judge of Lagos State, the Admin Judge, the 996 here seated, the family of the late icon, permit me to stand on all the well-established protocol. My name is Muftau Akinpelumi Salao, the Vice Chairman, MBA Badagry, representing my chairman. You know, sir, I'm highly privileged and honored to be here today to say one or two things about the legal luminary, late Oladimeji Akani Rotimi Williams, formerly called Ladi Williams, because he's one of those legal practitioners that prompted me to choose a legal profession as a career. But unfortunately, I'm unable to see him or talk to him one-on-one because I so much have love for him. The first time I heard his name was on news in respect of a case. Then, since then, I've been aspiring to be a lawyer. But today, I thank God. But the only painful thing for me was that I was unable to express my love for him during his lifetime. Be that as it may, I'm highly honored to be here today to say this out to the hearing of the family. Though I may not have much to say because all other speakers, they have said much about him, but I cannot say less. They have talked about his birth, his educational background, political life, his contribution to the legal profession, his contribution to the nation building. He has performed excellently in every facet of life. And that be the reason we are all gathered here today to celebrate him because of what he has done to everybody here or to the legal profession. I know I can state unequivocally that late luminary Chief Oladipupo Akani Rotimi Williams, SAN, like his late father, Chief Frederick Rotimi Williams, have contributed immensely to the development of law, political stability, legal profession in Nigeria and diaspora, which contribution earned him the prestigious rank of Senior Advocate of Nigeria in 1995. And ever since then, he has been doing his best, he has done his best to see that the legal profession remain the number one in every other profession. Chief Ladi Williams is one of the members of Constitutional Drafting Committee in 1988. And today, the Constitution still remains, even though the amendment, but the very foundation of that Constitution, which he was a member, is still remains today. Let me say this, like what Ernest Hemingway once said, that every man's life ends the same way. It is only the details of how he lived and how he died that distinguish one man from another. Chief Ladi William undoubtedly distinguished himself in life through his contribution to law, national development, nation building, and every aspect of life. Though the news of his death of the late stage legal luminary hit many of us here like a thunderbolt from the blues. Yes, it is usual thing that happens to every human being, every day, every time. But the news, it serves as a alerting call to every one of us here to get ourselves prepared. One day, he will knock on our door. What do we want our community, the labor profession, to remember us for? There's nothing that brought us here than because of his contribution, his impact he has in our lives, either directly or indirectly. To the family, Chief Ladi William won't be far away from you, because for life goes on. Always just listen to your heart, and you will hear his love and passion all around you, because the life of one who love is never lost. Therefore, Chief Ladi William sending a message to the family to pass across to you. According to him, he said, "Do not stand at my grave and weep. I'm not there. I do not sleep. I am a thousand wind that blows. I am the diamond gleams on the snow. I'm the sunlight on ripe grain. I'm the gentle autumn's rain. Do not stand at my grave and cry, I'm not there. And he don't die." Chief Ladi William never die. Good night, Ladi William. Good night, legal luminary. A golden heart has stopped beating. Hard-working hands now rest. God broke our heart to prove to us that he only takes the best one. It takes a moment to say hello, but very hard and difficult to say goodbye. Therefore, I will not say goodbye to Chief Ladi William. I will only say good night. Good night to the greatest son of the late Rotimi William. Good night good night to legal icon. Good night to legal luminary. Continue to rest in the bosom of the Lord till we meet to part no more. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Next on the program is the address by the chairman, Nigerian Bar Association, Ekpe branch.
Good afternoon, my lord. Other judges here present, the learned senior advocates, the family left behind. Please permit me to stand on the existing protocol. My name is Fumi Hadiogo, the Vice Chairman of Nigerian Bar Association, Ekpe branch. I'm here to represent my chairman, Ademola Koko Esquire. Unfortunately, most of his speech has been delivered. However, I will read out what has not been spoken about the late legal luminary. I read. He said, "I heard the news of the demise of Mr. Ladi Williams SAN on Channels Television on Monday evening, October 4, 2021. It sounded unbelievable. His father, Chief F.R.A. Williams SAN, died in 2005 at 85 years. Then, why did Ladi die at just 74? I asked myself. It was a very sad piece of information. I had an uncle who came across Chief Ladi regularly in the premises of Lagos High Court Ikeja in the mid-1980s. He was working then as a judicial reporter with the Guardian newspapers. He came to the court most of the time in the company of his father. He had the privilege of covering some of the cases Chief F.R.A. Williams handled, such as the Fawaimi versus Akilu case in the Dele Giwa murder saga. He covered that case from the High Court to the Supreme Court. Needless to say that Chief F.R.A. Williams was noted for his extraordinary brilliance, wit, and erudition. His voice in the court was intimidating, just as his frame. Unlike some lawyers who seek out journalists to give press statements, Chief F.R.A. Williams was himself a newsmaker. And that was the wisdom of Chief Williams, which he bequeathed to his children, including Ladi. It was therefore not surprising that Chief Ladi became SN in 1995. Of course, I was in secondary school by then, at a fairly young age of 48 years, which was like a record at that time. He was fortunate to work in the ambience of his father's chambers, which was one of the best in the country at that time. He worked hard and meritoriously to earn the rank of SAN. He was not just a senior advocate, but also a perfect family man. He could recall an occasion when he came to the premises of the court with young members of his immediate family, a boy and a girl, which he later introduced to the journalists as his children. He said he had brought them to court to have a feel of the court environment in Nigeria. It was obvious that Chief Ladi had started to mentor his children the way he was mentored by his father. Those children must be big people now. Our heart goes to them on this inauspicious moment. Our condolences also to the entire Chief F.R.A. Williams on the passage of Chief Ladi. Adieu, Chief Ladi Williams, SAN. Thank you.
Thank you. It's now time for the vote of thanks, and I will invite Mr. Olakunle Williams to do that.
Honourable Chief Judge, Justices of the Supreme Court, the Appellate Courts, the High Court, the Body of Benchers, the Royal Fathers, Senior Advocates, all here present, members of the lower bar, members of the black table. I wish, and all the others here present, I wish to thank you all for being present today. I wish to thank you all for your good prayers and good wishes at this time. We appreciate you all, and on behalf of the family of the late Chief Ladi Williams, and also on behalf of the Williams and Moore family, we wish to say thank you and bless you all. Thank you.
Thank you. We have now come to the end of the valedictory court session. Thank you all once again for coming. And please rise up for the honorable judges to depart.
May we please rise and pay 1 minute silence for the beloved Chief Ladi Williams. May his soul rest in perfect peace.